It is day 25 of designing a festive island in 30 days without using my storage, and a number of really fun things have happened since we've all last met. So first and foremost, I did do a lot of time traveling and ended up finding red wrapping paper, which meant I crafted quite a lot of gift piles. I don't know if there is such a thing as too many gift piles, but we're going to find out. And then the next thing, and probably the most important for today, is the fact that I have received a photo. I found a dropped item on the ground, and it turned out to be Agnes, and because Agnes and I are practically besties, and this proves it, she gave me her photo, so that is one endgame objective that I have completed. I think that means, with the exception of kind of finishing up the rest of the island for the challenge itself, making this island completely accessible to my villagers and having one villager photo means that we are basically at the end game, and I'm super excited. Today, though, is the last mess area where I just kind of placed things for ideas to hope for the best, and we'll be working on Biff and Bruce's area for the day. I have no idea what I'm doing for today. I liked the idea of making it a little bit messier, not quite trash core, but I liked the idea that Biff was a tinkerer, kind of a messy bean, and Bruce was kind of just a come as you are sort of individual. So we're going to figure out what to do with that. The part that I hate the most is I need to figure out what stays and what goes. And I think ultimately, as much as I really wanted to use this foosball, we're going to get rid of that. I really should start putting music in various places, but I think we're going to get rid of the portable radio as well. The main concern I have for putting something along this alleyway between the houses is I really like this perspective, and I'm worried that if I place a fence here like I intend, that it's going to, it's going to block it. But I do want to try with the items that I did order, and we'll time travel to the next day. And another thing is I have been shaking trees in order to get enough for ornament wreaths for all of the villagers and customizing them to match the color of the house as well as the villagers. So I think we're just gonna do it. We're going to get started. I time traveled to the next day, and I'm going to be testing out making this look like a little mini workshop. I fell in love with the idea of Biff being a tinkerer, liking to build things, and using some of the toys like the race car and the robot in order to make it seem like, he was making these himself. For Bruce, though, and what are you wearing? Oh man, I love that hat. For Bruce, I'm not quite sure. I think I do just want to make him be relatively not as festive and a little bit more down with being part of nature. I did like the idea of giving some of the villagers trees where it looks like they were decorating, so I'll probably have a couple of dropped ornaments. I think that'll count because I count that as decorating. And we'll put a nice little sitting area with this board game that I had found either in a balloon or someone had gifted me. It looks okay. I know that if you have been following this challenge since day one, you know that I am a tinkerer by default, that I like to build things in bursts, have a sketch layer sort of idea, and then work with it when I feel inspired. The only problem, though, is when you're back here, you don't really get to see what's going on behind the scenes, and you only really get to see it if you stand really truly right here, which isn't bad, but then the table's in the way, and I don't want this to be muddied up with the table. Another option is to put the fence here, but that doesn't provide a lot of space for it to be an actual workshop. Yeah, that doesn't work either. I do have some slight regrets by the placement of these houses. I may just have to completely remove the idea that I had for his area. Over here, it shouldn't be that bad. I do have another gift pile that I plan on putting right out here, so it looks like Bruce, at the very least, is feeling festive enough to gift people. At least Bruce's area is going to feel somewhat sort of cohesive. Also, can we please discuss, I love that this looks like a natural board game. However, we can't really put things diagonally, and so no matter how I turn this board game, no one's actually looking at their specific board game But we're gonna put that here, and I think what I'm going to do, if I can afford the resources, maybe I'll find something that will add a little bit to the fact that this is a little more rundown. I guess we'll keep it like this for now. I should probably add a sitting area maybe right here, maybe a stool or something. I'm gonna sit with this, but for now, this is looking a little bit better. But what to do with Biff's area? And while I contemplate my life choices, I will be getting this balloon. Eventually, I am very much looking forward to the day where the video really is just me shooting down balloons so that it looks like there's gifts everywhere. Like Santa had a hole in his bag and it just fell all over the island. I'm really excited about that. A dreamy hanging decoration. Well, that's bells for my pocket, I guess. I do acknowledge a toxic trait of mine is when I have an idea, I do want to see it through even if it's not going to work so that I can at least say that I tried and I had expended all of the options that were allotted to me. I do want to give Biff something that looks like a small little workshop, but again, it's really this area that's giving me some trouble. Although, what would happen if I moved this tree over one and then I had more space to work with over here? I wonder what that would do. So this does instantly free up some space. Maybe I can put the fence here after all. I do like this a lot better, but again, I know this game isn't real. I know that I shouldn't be basing any of my builds on reality, but I'm worried that I'm going to put a chair here, right? And it's going to look like if at any point he has a stroke of genius, that he's just going to fall over into the river. And I don't want that to happen to the man. I really don't. But we're going to work with it. We're going to work with the limitations that I have set upon myself since the beginning of this challenge when I placed him here. And we're going to hope for the best. I went ahead and crafted a couple of items to tinker with how I could make this look busy without it looking just lazily placed, if that makes any sense. We're going to start with the iron shelf, if I can find the thing. And I think I want to put the tool cart here. I will be changing the customization. Although the yellow looks okay, I don't want it to look too matchy-matchy, but I am liking how, even though this is really close to the water, it does look like he is very conscientious of his belongings. I want to put the sloppy table here sideways, although it's still in the picture, which is very annoying. You know, additionally, I could put the sloppy table over on Bruce's side. I could do that and then leave this clear or clearer. However, this with the mini DIY workbench here may look okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate it yet. There's still room for me to hate it. No, that's not going to work either. There really isn't any rule that I can't put this over by Bruce's area. I can probably do it. Oh, you know what I could do? Hold on, friends. Hold on. I need to first and foremost move this sapling, put it here. So light bulb moment. What if I put the sloppy table here and then put the workbench right here? That's cute. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I really don't hate it, actually. Okay, maybe I hate it a little bit. But it does provide a bit of more of like, I don't know, a story. It is in the way of the path back there. I'm not quite certain how to go about this. Additionally, what if I replaced this with the tinkering area? I knew that this area was going to give me such a headache. I'm not loving this. I feel that I could do something more with this space, and it's just not serving me, and I don't quite know how to go about it. Maybe it is the sloppy table that's the problem. Maybe I just need to let it go. With this challenge, I have had the hardest time letting go of things because of the fear that I may need it. But for the most part, it is likely that if I get rid of something and if I don't remember it, I will likely not actually need it. This is actually really cute though. I do like this. This is pretty adorable. I do have to make this decision about whether or not the sloppy table actually serves the purpose that I'm going for. And if, oh, wait. No, that's too stacky. I know that's not the technical term, but the layering is a little off and I don't know how I feel about it. I really just want this view. I really want this view to be clean. You know what I mean? I have oh my gosh, there's so many weeds, but I want this to not be in view when you look up. Oh, wow, this is frustrating. This is so frustrating. I did settle upon just making this area inaccessible. I've just accepted that as a design choice on my part. I do need to add something on top of the iron shelf though, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the model kit up there. I don't love it, but we're going to own it. I keep staring at this, knowing that this is what I want people to focus on and be in love with when it's done, as opposed to Bruce and Biff's area. I think ultimately what I need to be okay with is maybe giving Bruce a little bit more stuff as opposed to Biff, and either putting a small garden or a flower plot here or something and just letting nature speak for itself. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, why don't we get into hard hat mode and put down a few dark dirt strips and pathing, and maybe I'll feel a little bit better about it. After moving this around way more times than I'd like to admit, this is starting to come together a little bit more nicely. I think I really did have to just own the fact there wouldn't be accessible parts to the build itself. And I do like it. It's okay. I just wish I liked it more. I can put the tool cart here and it doesn't show up with the perspective build, so I do like that. That does seem to be serving my needs for this. I crafted a wooden toolbox and 2 log stools because I think the way that I'm going to make this a little more festive than it's actually turning out to be is I would like to put 2 table ornament lamps in front of their houses so that it looks decorated, and I actually have to go get more to make an ornament wreath and gift them. Even though that this area is not as festive as others, I do want to make it look like that they are prepping, you know what I mean? That it looks like they're giving it a go. But they do have an amazing backdrop behind their house anyway, so I don't think that ultimately this is going to be a problem. I think you all will forgive me if not every single house is completely decked out. It's similar to Texas area where I couldn't really find a way to make my idea work. And if I had more time, more items, maybe I'd be able to make it a little more interesting. But for now, I just want to decorate it and feel like I accomplished something for the day. You know what? Actually, I kind of own this. I kind of love it. I would really love to be able to have this right here because I honestly feel that it's perfect. It's truly perfect. The only problem, that's the problem. The only problem, that's the problem. Just this Animal Crossing, bringing all the stress since 2020. You know, this doesn't actually look bad. I actually don't hate it. Another option is, what if I move it slightly forward? Does that look weird? Am I just hyperfixating on this? I feel like I'm hyperfixating on this. However, this does give a better view. I know I should probably remove this, but I'm going to hold on to it and just think on it for a bit because it really does suit the front area, but this still feels rather empty, but it's not as bad as it was. However, what if I put the sloppy table here? And what if I put the mini circuit here? And what if I put the mini workbench here? Actually, I may have figured it out. I think ultimately what this needs, a few of a specific favorite item of mine, the log stakes right here and maybe like right here and right here, because I do want this to look busy. I do want this to feel like they are working on gifts and they're decorating and they're getting ready for the holidays. That is ultimately what I want for this area. I want it to feel like they care, but they're still in the process. They're not as ready as everybody else. That's what I want from this vibe. I think I like this a lot better, but it does mean we have to go get some more resources. The last thing I want to accomplish for today is gifting Bruce and Biff ornament wreaths so that it, at the very least, their door is festive. I've been trying to make sure that when I wrap two things at the same time that I gift the right villager the right thing, but I think it's this one because I tend to gift them in alphabetical order. It would be really cool if I ended up getting multiple photos for this challenge, but I was anticipating Agnes being the one to give me her photo since the get-go because sisterlies are notorious for best friendship. It would be nice if I could get another photo. Maybe that could be a secondary goal, is getting as many photos as possible by the end of this challenge. That would be really cool. Ultimately, I think with the last couple of days of the challenge, it's more about cleaning up, perhaps paying off Harv's Island. We'll see about that, but we will hope for the best. I've time traveled to the next day to see that the ornament wreaths are hung up. Oh yeah, no, this looks a lot better. I still need to add a couple of more log stakes here. I forgot to, do that between time traveling because I was just so hyper fixated on getting the ornament wreaths hung up. Do I have enough actually? I may have enough for literally one log stake. So let's put our single log stake here and our mini DIY workbench here. Yeah, I think this is going to work. If I just put maybe one more here and maybe either one here or one here, make it a little asymmetrical with distance, I think that'll work just fine. Yeah. Again, this is kind of like with Tex's build where I'm okay with it. I just wish I had a better idea. I wish I had more time. I wish I wish I had a way to make this more cluttered without ruining this right here, because this overlook's really important to me for this island. But it does look pretty good. I will say I'm just going to have to accept it as is. And I do think that adding a couple of log stakes will probably make it look more cohesive, but it looks like they tried. It's like Tex, they tried. And that is truly the lesson that I want you to take from today, is at least you try. The final order of business, and I mean it this time. I really, truly mean it this time. The final order of business is to put Agnes's photo in my house. Well, friends, we have officially decorated every single one of my villager's house to some level of festivity. Even though this was a little bit more chaotic and tinkery than I had hoped it would be, I feel pretty good about it, especially since it's not really the build I want you to focus on. Tomorrow, I don't know what I have planned. I don't know if I will have a plan, but I think it will be just whatever serves me, or cleaning up the beaches. And when that video is ready, it'll be up on the screen right now.